All right, so welcome to another deep dive.
Uh-huh.
Today we're tackling those unidentified drones over New York and New Jersey.
Okay.
Everyone's buzzing with theories. Some even link them to Elon Musk.
Yeah,
And if that wasn't enough,
right.
we'll also be exploring the wild world of $100 bill conspiracies.
Okay.
All those hidden symbols and secret messages some believe are tucked away on our currency.
Oh, yeah.
Buckle up.
Okay.
It's going to be a fascinating ride.
What's so intriguing about these two seemingly separate topics,
Yeah?
the drones and the money theories, is that they tap into our shared human curiosity about the unknown.
Right.
They play on our mistrust of those in power
Hmm.
and our natural tendency to find patterns even when they might not actually exist.
Okay, so let's start with the drone drama.
Right.
We have multiple sightings over populated areas
Okay.
with no official explanation from authorities.
Uh-huh.
Doesn't that practically scream conspiracy theory?
Sure does.
What do you make of all this?
What?
What could these drones actually be doing up there?
Before we jump into the more sensational theories,
Okay.
let's consider some real-world possibilities.
All right.
Drone use has skyrocketed, both legally and illegally.
Right.
These mysterious drones could belong to government agencies doing surveillance or research. Maybe they're private companies testing new tech. Or, let's be honest,
Yeah.
it could even be hobbyists pushing the limits of what's allowed.
Right.
And-
That makes sense. Everyone from major corporations to your neighbor seems to have a drone these days.
Yeah, exactly.
But honestly, that explanation feels a little mundane.
Yeah.
I mean, some people are convinced these are prototypes for Elon Musk's flying cars.
The Elon Musk theory.
Yeah,
It's a tempting one, isn't it?
it is.
The man's known for pushing boundaries.
Yeah,
So the idea of him testing flying cars almost feels plausible.
it does, especially since he's always pushing the envelope with technology.
Yeah.
But what makes you think it's not his doing?
There are a couple of things that don't quite add up.
Right.
Firstly, the drones spotted are relatively small.
Okay.
To get a flying car off the ground and make it practical,
Right.
you'd need a much bigger vehicle.
Uh-huh.
And secondly,
Right.
Musk's companies, while they definitely test new technology,
Yeah.
usually do it with more transparency
Right.
or at least
Yeah.
highly publicized leaks. It's unlikely something as groundbreaking as a flying car would stay completely under wraps.
Those are good points.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe not Elon Musk,
Mm-hmm.
but how about this theory? What if these are spy drones,
Okay.
maybe even sent from warships near Cuba?
Mm.
Some folks online are convinced there's international espionage going on.
That theory certainly plays into our current geopolitical anxieties.
Right.
The idea of a foreign power using advanced technology to spy on us
Yeah.
is like something straight out of a movie.
Yeah, it's pretty gripping.
Uh-huh.
But how likely is that?
Well, drones can operate from ships. The distance between Cuba and New York or New Jersey makes it a logistical stretch. It wouldn't make much sense for them to target those areas when they can focus on regions closer to Florida or other strategically important spots in the southeast.
Okay, so maybe we can rule out Cuban spies for now.
Yeah.
But still, the idea of spy drones lurking around
Yeah.
is pretty unsettling, isn't it?
Definitely.
I mean, if it's not Cuba,
Right.
who's behind them?
That's the question that keeps everyone guessing.
Right.
And it raises concerns about surveillance and how much control we have over our own privacy in this increasingly technological world.
All right, let's shift gears from those mysterious drones to something equally intriguing.
Yeah.
The $100 bill conspiracy theories.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I look at that bill countless times, and
Yeah.
all I see is Benjamin Franklin
Uh-huh.
and some fancy buildings.
Right.
But apparently, some folks believe there's a lot more going on beneath the surface.
It's fascinating how currency,
Yeah.
especially the redesigned $100 bill,
Right.
has become a breeding ground for theories about hidden messages and secret symbolism.
Yeah.
Its intricate designs, historical figures, and symbolic elements invite all sorts of interpretations.
You know, you mentioned earlier how we humans tend to find patterns even when they don't exist.
Yeah.
Is that what's happening here?
It certainly plays a role.
Okay.
Our brains are wired to seek out patterns and meaning,
Right.
even in randomness. We
Yeah.
call this pareidolia.
Pareidolia.
And it's why we see faces in clouds or animals in star constellations.
Yeah.
When you apply that to something as visually complex as a $100 bill,
Uh-huh.
it's no wonder people start seeing hidden messages.
So let's unpack some of these claims.
Yeah.
First up, we have the blue security ribbon that supposedly warns of a water event.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard some people interpret the blue color and wavy design as a prediction of floods or even tsunamis. What do you think about that?
It's understandable why someone might make that leap.
Yeah.
But remember, that blue ribbon is a high-tech security feature designed to combat counterfeiting.
Okay.
It's not some cryptic warning about an impending disaster.
Right. I recall it uses some pretty sophisticated technology, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It incorporates 3D technology and microprinting, creating that unique visual effect.
Right.
The blue color might evoke thoughts of water.
Yeah.
But that's just a coincidence. There's no official or intended connection to any specific water-related event.
Okay, so the water event theory is debunked.
Yeah.
But what about this one? Some people claim that folding the bill in a specific way reveals an image of a nuclear explosion.
A nuclear explosion?
Come on. That's got to be at least a little bit true, right?
I mean,
it sounds too wild to make up.
I can see why that theory grabs people's attention. It plays on our deep-seated fears about nuclear threats.
Right.
And resonates with similar claims, like the one about the $20 bill supposedly depicting the Twin Towers after 9/11.
Oh, yeah.
However, just like the water event theory,
this
one relies on subjective interpretation.
So are you saying there's no mushroom cloud hidden in the folds of the $100 bill?
What some people might see as a nuclear explosion is simply a result of how the bill's existing design elements, the Independence Hall clock tower watermarks, and those security features we talked about happen to align when folded in a particular way. There's no intentional symbolism, no hidden message about impending doom.
Yeah.
It's just a trick of perception.
So it's more about our brains finding patterns where there are none than a secret message from the government.
Exactly. It's more psychology than prophecy.
Okay.
You might find yourself drawn to these theories because they offer a simple way to make sense of a complicated world.
Yeah.
But sometimes a coincidence is just a coincidence.
Interesting.
Uh-huh.
Okay, one last claim about the $100 bill.
All right.
Some folks believe the two sides of the bill represent two different monetary systems.
Okay.
Hinting at some major upcoming economic shift. What's the story behind that one?
This theory taps into those anxieties we discussed earlier. Fear of economic collapse, losing faith in traditional currencies, and the rise of alternative systems. People are looking for explanations for some semblance of control in a world that can often feel chaotic and unpredictable.
So they see the imagery on the $100 bill and interpret it as a secret message about the future of money.
Precisely.
Okay.
They point to the depictions of bartering and trade on one side and the Federal Reserve symbols on the other as evidence of a coming economic upheaval, a shift away from our current system.
So it's like they're looking for a hidden roadmap in the design of the bill.
Yeah, exactly.
But is there any actual evidence to back up that interpretation? Does the $100 bill really hold the key to understanding future economic trends?
Not at all.
Oh, yeah.
The imagery on the bill simply reflects traditional U.S. monetary history and the security measures in place to protect it.
Okay.
It's not a coded message about a dual monetary system or an impending financial collapse.
I see.
Yeah.
So once again, it seems like people are projecting their anxieties onto the bill's design, searching for patterns and meaning where there are none.
Exactly. It's a classic example of how our desire to understand the world, especially during times of uncertainty, can lead us down some interesting and often misleading paths.
It's as if they believe the government is embedding secret warnings and prophecies right on our money.
Yeah.
We've certainly debunked some interesting claims about both the drones and the $100 bill.
We have.
But I'm curious, why do these theories, even the ones that seem far-fetched, have such a hold on people?
Yeah.
What makes them so compelling?
I think it comes down to a few key factors.
Okay.
First, there's a fundamental mistrust of authority, whether it's the government, the Federal Reserve, or any institution seen as powerful and secretive. When people feel like they aren't getting the full story, they tend to fill in the gaps with their own narratives.
That makes sense. If you already distrust the official story, you're more likely to believe an alternative one.
Right.
Even if it sounds a bit out there, it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah.
The more you distrust those in power, the more likely you are to believe they're hiding something.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
And it's amplified by our natural tendency to seek patterns and meaning.
Right.
Remember pareidolia? Our brains are wired to find connections, even in random data.
Okay.
Complex designs, like those found on currency, provide fertile ground for these interpretations.
So it's like a perfect storm of mistrust, pattern seeking, and maybe even a little bit of wishful thinking.
Right.
It seems like these theories often emerge when people feel a lack of control or understanding. They offer a way to make sense of complex, often unsettling events.
Precisely. And you can't underestimate the impact of real-life events.
Yeah.
These theories often gain traction during times of uncertainty, whether it's geopolitical tensions, economic instability, or unexplained phenomena like these drone sightings. They offer a sense of order and agency in a world that can feel increasingly chaotic and unpredictable.
So it's not just about the drones themselves, but about what they represent. Our anxieties about surveillance, privacy, and the unknown.
Exactly.
We've explored the real-world possibilities. And debunked some of the more outlandish claims. But we've also uncovered some fascinating insights into the psychology behind these beliefs. Now, in part 2 of our deep dive, we'll explore why some individuals might be more susceptible to these theories than others. We'll ask, is there a conspiracy theorist personality type? And what role does the internet play in shaping and spreading these ideas? Stay tuned. Because we're just getting started.
All right. Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of drone mysteries and $100 bill conspiracies.
Yeah, last time we talked about how a lack of trust and those unsettling real-world events can fuel these kinds of theories. Now, I'm curious about why some people seem more drawn to these beliefs than others. Is there such a thing as a conspiracy theorist personality type?
That's a great question, and one that researchers have actually explored.
Oh, really?
While there isn't a single profile that fits every conspiracy theorist, studies have found certain personality traits and psychological factors that can make someone more likely to embrace these beliefs.
So what are we talking about here? Are we picturing someone who wears a tinfoil hat and spends all their time in a bunker?
Not necessarily. While there are certainly those extreme cases, many individuals who subscribe to conspiracy theories are regular folks like you and me. However, some common threads researchers have found include a strong need for uniqueness. A sense of feeling different. Special conspiracy theories can provide that feeling of being in the know, having access to information that most people don't.
So it's like belonging to an exclusive club. Having that secret knowledge that others don't. But doesn't that create a kind of self-fulfilling prophecy? If you start with the belief that everyone's lying to you, won't you always find evidence to confirm your suspicions?
That's a great point. Even if it's not really there. And it speaks to another factor. A low tolerance for uncertainty. Conspiracy theories often provide simple explanations for complex and ambiguous situations. It's like a way to regain a sense of order and control in a world that can feel chaotic and unpredictable. You might find yourself drawn to these theories because they offer a straightforward answer, a way to make sense of the unknown.
I see what you mean. It's much easier to believe in a secret group pulling the strings than to accept that sometimes things just happen. And there's no grand plan behind it all. It's that desire for a clear explanation. Especially when we're confronted with unsettling events like those unexplained drones.
Absolutely. And this ties into another key trait. A predisposition towards distrust. People who are naturally skeptical of authority figures or institutions are more likely to see conspiracies lurking behind official explanations.
So if you already believe they are lying to you, then any alternative explanation, no matter how unlikely, might start to sound more believable. It's like you're primed to accept those alternative narratives, especially when they confirm your existing suspicions.
That's right. It's important to remember that these traits exist on a spectrum.
Okay.
We all possess them to varying degrees. It's not about labeling people, but rather understanding the different psychological factors that contribute to these beliefs.
It's about recognizing those tendencies in ourselves and being aware of how they might influence the way we interpret information.
Right.
Especially when it comes to something as mysterious as those drones.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But it's not just individual psychology at play here, is it?
Right. Think about those drone theories.
Yeah.
They exploded online, with each new post adding another layer of speculation.
Exactly.
How does the internet contribute to the spread of these ideas?
The internet has been both a blessing and a curse when it comes to conspiracy theories. On the one hand, it's democratized information, allowing people to research, connect, and share information like never before. But on the other hand, it's created echo chambers where these beliefs can amplify and spread without much fact-checking or critical analysis.
It feels like the Wild West out there.
Yeah.
An overwhelming amount of information where you can find evidence to support almost any claim, no matter how outlandish.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
It's the danger of echo chambers, where algorithms designed to keep us engaged often feed us more of what we already believe, regardless of its accuracy. You end up surrounded by information that confirms your existing views, making it harder to consider alternative perspectives.
So it's not just people actively seeking out conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Those theories can also find them.
Right.
They're bombarded with this information that reinforces their beliefs.
Exactly.
Even if those beliefs are based on shaky grounds.
And once you're in that echo chamber, it can be very difficult to break free. It's like a self-reinforcing cycle.
That makes sense, especially with those drone sightings.
Yeah.
People are already on edge. So it's easier for them to gravitate towards explanations that validate their fears, even if those explanations are based on speculation rather than facts.
That's a crucial point.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theories often thrive in times of uncertainty and fear, offering a sense of order and control in a world that feels increasingly unpredictable.
Yeah.
And when those theories align with existing prejudices or beliefs, they become even more potent. You might find yourself questioning everything you hear. Wondering if there's a hidden agenda behind every official statement.
It's almost as if the drones themselves become a symbol of everything people are worried about.
Yeah.
Government overreach, loss of privacy, the unknown.
Exactly.
Those anxieties feed into the theories, making them feel even more real and threatening.
You've hit the nail on the head. The drones are a blank canvas onto which people project their fears, mistrust, and need for explanations. And that's where the real danger lies. Because it can lead to misdirected anger, distrust in legitimate institutions, and a breakdown in social cohesion.
It's like a domino effect. Where one unfounded belief leads to another. Creating a web of misinformation that's hard to untangle. So what can we do about it? It feels like we're drowning in a sea of conflicting information, making it difficult to know what to believe.
It's definitely a challenge, and it requires a conscious effort on our part to navigate this complex information landscape. The first step is awareness. We need to be critical consumers of the information we encounter, particularly online. Ask yourself, who's sharing this information? What's their motivation? Is there evidence to support their claims? Look for verifiable sources and be wary of anything that seems too sensational or too good to be true.
So basically, don't just accept things at face value. Do your own research. Consider multiple viewpoints. And be skeptical of anything that sounds too convenient or too scary. It's about being an active participant in the search for truth. Rather than passively consuming whatever information comes our way.
Exactly. And don't shy away from those tough conversations with friends and family who might be falling down the rabbit hole of conspiracy thinking. Challenge their beliefs. But do it with empathy and respect. Remember, they're often coming from a place of fear or a desire for understanding.
It's about encouraging critical thinking and healthy skepticism. Without dismissing their concerns entirely.
Right.
We need to create a space for open and honest dialogue where people feel safe to share their doubts and explore different perspectives.
You're right.
Yeah.
Sometimes the most effective way to combat misinformation is with accurate and reliable information.
Okay.
Sharing credible sources.
Right.
Offering alternative explanations and highlighting the nuances and complexities of the issues at hand can go a long way in promoting a more informed and balanced perspective.
It's about reminding people that the world is rarely black and white.
Right.
There are usually multiple perspectives to consider, and the truth often lies somewhere in between. It's about embracing those gray areas and being comfortable with the ambiguity that comes with complex issues.
Well said.
Yeah.
We need to remember that skepticism is a valuable tool for critical thinking, but it shouldn't turn into cynicism.
Okay.
It's a balancing act.
Right.
Questioning what we're told while remaining open to different viewpoints and engaging in constructive dialogue, even when those conversations are challenging.
This has been a fascinating exploration of the psychological forces at play.
It has.
Behind conspiracy theories and how the internet can amplify their spread. We've talked about the need for critical thinking, healthy skepticism, and engaging in open dialogue. But in part 3 of our deep dive, we'll explore the wider implications of these beliefs. We'll ask, what are the real-world consequences of clinging to these theories? And how can we navigate this increasingly complex information landscape? Stay tuned for the final part of our journey.
All right.
Welcome back to the deep dive. We've been on quite a journey, haven't we?
We have.
From those mysterious drones hovering over New York and New Jersey to the hidden messages some people believe are tucked away on the $100 bill.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot of ground.
It's been a fascinating exploration.
It has.
Of the intersection of unexplained events, conspiracy theories, and the psychology that makes these ideas so captivating.
We've debunked some specific claims. Delved into the personality traits that might make someone more susceptible to these beliefs, and examined the role of the internet and social media in shaping and spreading information, both true and false. Exactly. But now I want to shift our focus to the bigger picture. What are the real-world consequences of these beliefs? Are they harmless?
Well,
or is there a darker side to all of this? Some people might argue that it's all just harmless speculation, a bit of fun. But is that really the case?
That's an important question to ask. While some conspiracy theories might seem like harmless entertainment, they can have real and sometimes even dangerous consequences. They can impact our individual choices and our society as a whole.
Okay, I'm all ears. Give us some examples. How can believing in these theories actually play out in the real world?
One of the most concerning consequences is the erosion of trust in legitimate institutions. If you constantly believe that the government, the media, scientists, or other experts are lying to you, it becomes challenging to make well-informed decisions about important matters. Imagine trying to navigate issues like public health or climate change when you believe the information you're getting is part of a larger conspiracy.
That makes sense if you believe everyone is part of some grand scheme. Who do you turn to for reliable information? It seems like it would create a sense of constant uncertainty and suspicion.
Exactly. And this erosion of trust can have ripple effects, leading to issues like vaccine hesitancy, where people distrust medical professionals and scientific consensus, or climate change denials, where individuals reject the overwhelming evidence of human impact on the planet. These beliefs can influence personal choices and have a broader impact on public health and environmental policy.
We've seen some alarming examples of this in recent years, where conspiracy theories have fueled real-world harm, sometimes even leading to violence. It's a stark reminder that these beliefs aren't always confined to online forums or casual conversations. They can spill over into the real world with serious consequences.
Absolutely. Another significant concern is the spread of misinformation.
Misinformation.
Conspiracy theories often rely on distorted facts, selectively chosen evidence, outright fabrications to support their claims. When these false narratives circulate online and gain traction, they can be incredibly difficult to debunk or correct.
You're right. It's like trying to fight a wildfire with a garden hose. The internet allows information to spread so quickly.
Uh-huh.
And once something's out there, it's almost impossible to contain.
Right.
How do you even begin to counter those narratives when they've already taken root in people's minds?
It's a huge challenge.
Yeah.
And it requires a multifaceted approach that involves education, critical thinking skills, and media literacy.
Media literacy.
But it's crucial because this misinformation can have a real impact on people's lives, influencing their beliefs, behaviors, and even their relationships.
It can cause rifts between family and friends, create divisions within communities, and even undermine democratic processes.
It's disheartening to think that something as seemingly harmless as believing in a conspiracy theory can have such far-reaching consequences, affecting not just individuals, but our society as a whole.
It's a reminder that we can't just dismiss these beliefs as harmless or insignificant. They have the potential to do real damage.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And then there's the issue of misdirected anger and frustration. When people buy into conspiracy theories, they often feel like they're victims of some powerful, hidden force that's controlling their lives.
Like they're constantly looking over their shoulder. Suspicious of everyone and everything.
Exactly. Yeah. And this misdirected anger can be dangerous. It can target individuals or groups who are falsely accused of being part of these imagined conspiracies. We've seen instances where people have been harassed, threatened, or even physically harmed because of these unfounded beliefs. It highlights the importance of promoting critical thinking, empathy, and understanding in our interactions with others.
So how do we combat this? We've talked about the negative consequences, but where do we go from here? How do we navigate this complex information landscape and help people understand the potential harms of these beliefs?
It's a complex issue with no easy solutions. But I believe one of the most important things is to remember that these beliefs often stem from very human needs. The need to understand the world around us, the need to feel safe and in control, and the need to find meaning and purpose in our lives.
You're right. It's about recognizing that these beliefs are often a symptom of something deeper, a reflection of anxieties, fears, and a desire for simple explanations in a complex world. It's about approaching these conversations with empathy and compassion, recognizing that everyone is on their own journey of understanding.
Exactly. It's about fostering a culture of critical thinking and healthy skepticism. Not just about conspiracy theories, but about all information we encounter. It's about teaching people how to evaluate sources, identify bias, and recognize logical fallacies. It's about empowering individuals to be discerning consumers of information, able to navigate the complexities of the digital world, and form their own informed opinions.
We've talked about the importance of education and critical thinking skills.
But
what about those who are already deeply entrenched in these beliefs? How do we reach those individuals and help them see a different perspective?
That's where open and honest dialogue becomes crucial.
So open and honest dialogue.
It's about engaging in respectful conversations, listening to their concerns, and trying to understand their perspective. It's about challenging their beliefs, not in a confrontational way, but by asking questions, presenting alternative viewpoints, and encouraging them to examine the evidence critically. Sometimes just having someone acknowledge their fears and anxieties can be a first step towards opening their minds to different possibilities.
It's about building bridges instead of walls, fostering a sense of connection and understanding even when we disagree. It's about reminding people that we're all in this together. Trying to make sense of a complicated world.
Beautifully said. And sometimes the most effective way to counter misinformation is with accurate and reliable information.
So giving them the correct information.
Sharing credible sources. Highlighting the scientific consensus on issues like vaccines and climate change, and offering well-reasoned counter-arguments to conspiracy theories can help chip away at those ingrained beliefs.
It's about providing people with the tools and knowledge they need to form their own informed opinions, empowering them to be critical thinkers rather than passive consumers of information.
That's a key point. We need to encourage people to be curious, to question, to dig deeper, and to seek out diverse perspectives,
Right.
even if those perspectives challenge their existing beliefs.
Yeah.
Remember, a healthy dose of skepticism is a good thing,
Right.
as long as it's coupled with a commitment to evidence-based reasoning
Yeah.
and a willingness to change our minds when presented with new information.
So it's not about blindly accepting everything we're told or rejecting everything that doesn't fit our worldview.
Right.
It's about finding that balance between healthy skepticism and open-mindedness.
Exactly.
Constantly questioning, learning,
Yeah.
and evolving our understanding of the world.
It's a lifelong journey.
It is.
Of discovery and critical thinking.
Well, I think we've given our listeners a lot to chew on today.
Uh-huh.
We've explored the fascinating world of drones and $100 bill conspiracies.
Yeah.
Delved into the psychology behind these beliefs.
Yeah.
And examined their potential impact on individuals and society. It's been a deep dive into the human need to understand the allure of simple explanations.
Right.
And the importance of critical thinking in a world awash in information.
It's been a pleasure exploring these ideas with you.
Yeah, likewise.
Remember, while it's essential to be wary of conspiracy theories and the misinformation they often spread, it's equally important to remain curious, to question, and to never stop seeking the truth wherever it may lead.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
Of course.
We hope you've enjoyed our exploration of this intriguing topic.
Yeah.
Until next time, keep those minds sharp and keep questioning.
All right.